Alrighty, good morning. My name is Robert Laurie, and today is my first day I'm starting the Think Up podcast. God put it in my heart some time ago to just start a podcast to not only encourage you, but also encourage myself, to think above our circumstances. And I think it's real easy to get caught up in what's going on in the world. And I just want to be a part of the solution to not allowing the things that's going on in the world to allow our circumstance to drown us and allow us to live in fear. So this is the first one, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes. And but I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys are blessed and I add value to your life this morning. All right, so today is Monday. So I'm gonna start everyone off, and we'll start it off with a scripture. Every morning I listen to or read the book of Proverbs for whatever that day is. So today the first, so I'm just start off on one of the scriptures on Proverbs 1. First chapter, I'm just gonna read Proverbs, the first chapter, the 7th verse. And it reads, this is the King James Version, by the way. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And we're just gonna start off there. And I just want to say, guys, my goal for this podcast is to help you become the highest expression of who God is calling you to be. And I say the highest expression because I believe not all of us get to that highest expression. I believe that some of us, we may, for example, God may be calling you to be a pastor, and you may have got to the level of just a group leader. But God is calling you to be a pastor of many, and not to minimize your current situation or where you at. But in order to think on the level God is calling you, we have to consistently sow into where we're going every day. And that's my goal with this podcast. And that's what I strive to do personally. So what I'm doing today, I pray it bless you. But this is what I do privately to walk into my purpose. I turned my life over to Christ in 2008, and my life dramatically changed. I didn't too much believe in God. I believe in the idea of God. My mom and my dad, they had, pressured me to do better. Primarily my mom really pressed me to turn my life over to Christ. And when I did back in 2008, it was like the sky was a different blue. I was addicted to pornography. I was addicted going in and out of relationships, only concerned about what I can get out of relationships. I was insecure. My value as a man was based on the women that I was with. I was very insecure, but I masked it and said being with multiple women is masculinity. And I think so many of us men do that. But by the grace of God, God changed my heart and changed my mind. And he gave me a passion to want to understand not only who Christ is, but who I am. And preferably, that's what this podcast will do. I'm going to strive to come to you once a week. And preferably, we can grow together, because I'm striving to become all God is calling me to be. And I know that you're striving too. So just pray for me, because it's my first time, but we're going to get through this. So the first one is going to be about self-limiting beliefs. Self-limiting beliefs. I really started to get serious about studying self-limiting beliefs about 3 or 4 years ago. And primarily when I realized I had so many. And I learned that it's more important to find out your limiting beliefs that you have about yourself and about what you can accomplish before you put all of your energy into striving to break free from that belief. And this is what I mean. It's just like in a car. Yes, you can press the gas and, rev up the engine to 7,000 RPMs, but it'd be more efficient if you take your foot off the brake before you rev the engine. So yes, you can push the gas hard and you can go faster, but if you let your foot off the brakes, you can, take more advantage of that power. And it's the same thing with our lives. Self-limiting beliefs causes you to go through life limiting yourself, limiting the people you connected to, being fearful to embrace all of who you are, and that's what I'm striving to do myself. And I know so many of you out there, y'all striving to do the same thing. And I don't personally know how to do it myself. I'm striving all I can to break out of my fears, my insecurities. And I pray that we can break through together. So again, the first one is self-limiting beliefs. I just want to read a quote. One of the quotes I'm going to read is from John Maxwell. It really blessed me when I found this. The quote says, I don't think I can rises from a deeper I don't think I am. I don't think I can rises from a deeper I don't think I am. And that's from John Maxwell's book, Intentional Living. What we believe we can accomplish is always connected to what we believe ourselves to be. And God knows we hear that so much, it's like a cliche, but I'm personally finding out the truth of that statement as I'm striving to embrace all of God calling me to be. And I'm finding out that, yes, I believe God, and yes, I got so many goals for my life, for my marriage, for my family, but I tend to run in these thinking roadblocks, I call them. I'm not good enough. People are not going to support me. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the look. And it's so easy to put ourselves in the victim chair of our lives, and other people make decisions for us. And what happens is when we do that, we are sowing seeds into that victim mentality. I want to read one more thing for you guys. I'm in the process of writing a book. It's almost where it is done. It's in the process of being published. So a lot of this content came from me studying the content for the book, which is called Think Up to Get Up. And that's primarily what gave me a heart to really want to start this podcast, because I want to give a lot of the content away. Yes, I want to sell the book and preferably do well. I don't know how the market's going to respond. It's my first book and I want to write many more. But me studying the content of this book, I believe people really need, because I needed it. I was so used to thinking only on the level I seen. I was so used to thinking of where I was at. And it's so easy to focus and think on where you at every day. You wake up, you may be broke. And of course, you only think and make decisions on how much money you got. You wake up and you feel lonely, and you only make decisions based on your loneliness. You wake up and you feel insecure, and you only make decisions based on your insecurities. But this book is about, in order to grow and become all God is calling you to be, you have to think on the level God is calling you to, which is a challenge because we only see and we only feel where we are today. So the quote I'm going to read is from the book, and it says, when you let go of a destructive belief, you within the same action cut off the life blood that is supplying all of the destructive thoughts connected to that belief. Let me read it again. Let me blow it up. The quote says, when you let go of a destructive belief, you within the same action cut off the life blood that is supplying all the destructive thoughts connected to that beliefs. We all heard it so many times, Proverbs, I think it's 18, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. But man, my God, I really came to know that scripture in a more deeper way when I began to see that, man, and we all know this, we heard it so many times, it's like a cliche. When we hear it, it's like, we heard that before, and we tend to discount things we hear all the time as not important. But let me tell you something, our life is dictated by what we think every day. And we heard it so many times, it's like, it's like we want to hear something new. But I had to really allow that to sink in so I can even believe in myself enough even to write this book. Because I told myself many lies. I can't write. Well, that was the truth. I really couldn't write. But, well, that's another point. Some of the things we tell ourselves to hold us back is somewhat the truth. I didn't know how to write when I start writing the book, but as I begin to write the book, I began to learn how to write. Some of you may have been rejected And yes, you may feel like you are worthless or you are rejected, but as you believe yourself to be valuable, that rejection falls off you. So the point I want to make that I wasn't even thinking about is you are healed as you move forward. And this is my personal belief. You can take it or leave it, but everything we go through and every feeling, every word spoken against you, everything that happened to you that made you feel like you are insignificant, as you strive to become the opposite of that, it falls off. Fear falls off. Insecurity falls off. Now, when I say fear falls off, I don't mean you're not fearful. I mean that you have courage. You can now move forward in spite of your fears. You can now be confident in spite of the things that you believe you can't do. And I just want to read that quote one more time because that really blessed me. It says, when you let go of a destructive belief, you within the same action cut off the lifeblood that is supplying all the thoughts connected to that belief. And prayerfully, with everything that's going on in our culture right now, it's like the majority of people are victims. And God knows we have good reason to be a victim. Look at what's going on. Look at this. I ain't even gonna get into all of the crap. That's not my intent for this podcast. My goal is to focus on, okay, well, what can I do? Who am I becoming? And I think that's a question that we all should ask ourselves. Where are you going? Your vision has to be connected to what you do daily. Nobody can achieve or become the highest expression of who God has called them to be being disconnected to their daily disciplines. And just want to make another point. I think I got two more points. The next one is self-limiting beliefs are hidden behind the words you use frequently. Self-limiting beliefs are hidden behind the words you use frequently. So if you want to find out if you have self-limiting beliefs or not, don't think about limiting beliefs. Think about words that you use a minimum 2 times a day. When you say I can't, what are you saying I can't to? When you say it's no use, when you say I can't do this or that, usually that speech is always connected to a person that's living in limitation. And it's something that you should eradicate from your vocabulary. Like words, another word I'm thinking of is try. When you think about it, I know when I use the word try, I'm really saying I'm really not going to do it, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to attempt to do it. And that attempt should be good enough for the person I'm saying it to leave me alone. And you will hear many people say, leave that, don't use that word. But again, everything in this podcast is centered around you becoming the highest expression of who God is calling you to be. I don't know who God is calling you to be. I know God may have gave you insight on that. You may not be a believer. I am. So everything that I talk about in this podcast and in these videos is going to be centered around my relationship with Christ and what I'm doing personally on an everyday basis. So prayerfully it'll bless you and empower you. So this is my first one. I'm starting the channel, and let me make this last point before I get out of here, which is before we can become the highest expression of who we are, we must expose and eliminate destructive and limiting beliefs. Before we become the highest expression of who we are, we must expose and eliminate self-limiting beliefs. So prayerfully, whatever limiting beliefs that you may be hindering you from. And again, guys, this is something that I came to the realization of some time ago, which is it's best to focus all of your attention on a goal that will change your life. You know, some people may disagree with that. Me, my personal experience and how I think is like I think about 3, 4, and 5 things at one time. So I had to get drop dead serious on one goal, and connected what I do every day to that one goal. And I found out that, man, if I'm going to be devoting so much time to this one goal, maybe it should be a goal that's going to change me and my family's life. And that one goal recently was a book. And I don't know if it's going to change our life. You know, prayerfully it would. I know it changed my mindset to study the material and the man it made of me to even write a book. I thank God for that. But that's a goal that changed my life. What goal is God blessing you to have to change your life? I'm not talking about a goal of saving $5,000 or $10,000. We'll ask yourself this. Because I know saving money is a big thing, you know, in our culture, and saving money is good. I'm not trying to minimize that. My point I'm making is at least have a goal to save an amount that will change your family's life. I used to have a goal, I'm gonna save $5,000, I'm gonna save $10,000. Okay. I had to ask myself, will $5,000 change my family's life? And I had to be honest and say no. Yes, it'll be, you know, a cushion, like Dave Ramsey say, put away that emergency fund. But will it change our life? And that's the question I asked myself. And then the answer was no. So I changed my primary goal to one that will change my family's life. So I pray that you find the goals that will change your family's life, especially us as men. You know, God is calling us to be the leader. We already know that, but we don't lead by talking. We lead by leading. First, leading yourself first. First, being true to who you are, who you're becoming first, and then you can express that through your family. And it's so easy to want a position of leadership and not be a leader in your personal life to your own self. Are you being true to what you said you're going to do? And that's something that I strive to do every day. And, you know, we're not perfect, but again, at least have goals and a vision that will change your family's life. So this was the first video, the first podcast. I hope y'all blessed by it. Again, I'm going to strive to come to you guys every week. Potentially every Monday. You know, I don't know what platforms. I'm just still learning this stuff. You know, honestly, it took me a while to start. I was supposed to start this at the beginning of the year, but I really didn't want to do it. But I just keep cutting my heart. So I pray it bless you. I hope you guys support it. Email me if you guys have any questions or want me to talk about a subject. I may not start that at first. My email is robertlaurie3@gmail.com. That's Robert, the letter L, then Laurie, Lowry, I said the letter 3, the number 3@gmail.com. robertlaurie3@gmail.com. So I hope this bless you guys. You guys have a blessed morning, and I pray that you become all God's calling you to be.